Holly here from Your Past is a Gift. Okay, so in the previous video we talked about how you might have gone through something traumatic in your childhood, okay, whether it was physical violence, domestic violence going on in your home, whether it was you were sexually molested, which, I'd like you to know that it's more common than you think. A lot of people seem to think that they're the only ones that this happened to. And that's why I think for the longest time, many children didn't, or many adults didn't want to come out to say what had happened to them in the Catholic Church with these priests that now is common knowledge. But I think they felt they were the only ones, and they were guilted into not saying anything, So please understand that there are many, many, many people that have been through the same, or are going through the same feelings of what you've been through, okay? That's really important to understand. Now, in this video, I wanted to go over the fact that these people, these grown-ups, okay, that did this to you, okay, because this happened to you. You didn't have a choice in this, okay? And that's what sometimes we feel we didn't have control, and it creates anxiety in our life later as a grown-up, that we don't have control, that things are going to happen to us throughout the rest of our life, and we have no control over it. These things that make us feel bad, things that we don't want to do. And so I want you to understand today that these grown-ups in your life, okay, and they did these things to you, or they said these things to you that made you feel bad about who you are as a human being, okay, they lived this through their childhood. And for many of them, it may have been worse, than what they've done to you. May have been worse, or may have been the same. But they don't know how to break that pattern. They don't know how to stop doing that, because that's all they've known. And somehow, I think when you're sexually molested, in your mind, you view the world as that's a normal thing to do to children. That's the way children are raised. It's normal to do that. It's normal for a child to grow up that way. And so they just pass that on to the next child. All those feelings, you don't have control. You're just my child. You're going to do what I say to do. Basically that's it. So I want you to think about that today. Not just that it wasn't your fault, that you had no choice in what happened, but that these people in your life, these grown-ups, they've already been through that. They're just copying that pattern of what they've already lived. And once you understand that they as a child went through the same, and your grandparents before, and the generation before, that this has been generations, that this behavior has been passed down, and today it's up to you. You can decide today, I didn't like how that made me feel. I was an object in this person's life. I wasn't treated like a human being with feelings, with my own thoughts of the world. Because children have feelings, they have their own thoughts, and they're constantly forming an idea of the world. And when you grow up that way, you grow up thinking that you have no control, that things are just going to happen to you. And you have no control, because that's how you started out. You just had to do what you were told to do. So I want you to think about that today. I want you to think about those grown-ups in your life, and I want you to imagine what they did to you. Imagine them as a child. Imagine them going through that as well. Okay? I want you to think about that. Because in that place, when you can understand that, you can start to forgive it. And forgiving isn't about accepting that what they did was right. Forgiveness has nothing to do with that. Forgiveness is about understanding that that person didn't know any better. They couldn't do any better, given what they've been through. Okay, and they didn't know how to change it. They didn't know how to do something different. To them, that was normal. That's what they grew up with. That's the way life is to them. They don't see another way. But it's up to you now. You know, if you are the grown-up or you're the teenager and you're coming out of those years of going through this abuse, whichever abuse it may be, you can start to think differently. You can start to think, I can't do that to someone else. I can't make them feel that way because it didn't make me feel good. Make that choice. And so the pattern can change. You can forgive that person and understand they did the best they could do. They couldn't do any different. They didn't know any different. They haven't experienced anything else than that. Understand that. And even though the behavior is not acceptable, what they've done is not acceptable, but you can forgive it. And the forgiveness is not for that person. The forgiveness is for you. The forgiveness is for you to let it go. You need to forgive yourself that you didn't have a choice, that it wasn't your fault, that you didn't do anything wrong. And forgiveness really comes for yourself, so you can free yourself and move on. Understand that you are a valuable human being. Understand that you have a lot to give, that you can give good things because they're inside all of us. They're inside of you as well. You know, you can choose to give love to others, to give, you know, of yourself, your patience, your tolerance. There's so many good things that you can give to other human beings to help them feel that they are valuable just as you are. All right, my darlings? Well, thanks for watching. Remember to click like and subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.